Wow. Hello, Facebook family and friends. This is your girl, Ann Austin, here with another career corner tip. Hopefully, you guys will be able to join this quick little video today. Just wanted to remind everybody that the Elevate and Boost Career group is a group that allows you to be able to ask questions, to be able to interact with me, for me to be able to interact with you, and to figure out what you guys want and how I can help assist you guys. Um, Even if you kind of missed this little, tidbits, you can also just come back and view it, and you can still come back and ask me questions. Okay. So, and I'm trying to do this because I want to be more engaging with everybody. I'm trying to let everybody know that I am here for you to see if I can help you with any career issues. And even if you don't need career advice right now, definitely invite people to the group. Invite people who you know that can use this information, because it's just one of those things where you just really need somebody. Hey, Leroy, I see you joining in again. We're trying to get people to get on these video podcasts or these video things, right? Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it. So today's topic is, how do you deal with a difficult boss? Okay, and this is one of those things where I had to learn how to do this like for years and years, because I had good bosses and I had bad bosses. But sometimes you're just going to have a boss that's just going to be mean no matter what. He's going to be mean to everybody, not just you. He's going to be mean, or she's going to be mean, because that is their management style. And I think it's important that in this career corner that I kind of focus on that, because a lot of us work jobs where we feel like our boss, or we have a feeling that our boss doesn't like us, or they don't like us because they actually showing that, in their work style. So I kind of want to give some tips on how you deal with that. The first thing I want to say, first and foremost, is that it's not about you. It's never going to be about you if your boss has an issue with, even if the boss is coming to you and blatantly telling you that you're doing something wrong every single time. Believe it or not, it is not about you. Okay, it is not. And I say this because of this. A lot of times, what we don't realize when we have bosses, they all have different work management styles. Some people are micromanagers, some people are very lax, some people are just very meticulous in what they're doing. And so it just seems like that they're just nitpicking at every little single thing that you're doing, giving the appearance that they just don't like you, or they're speaking in a tone in which you don't like, or rub you the wrong way. Trust me when I tell you, it is not about you. It is all about them and how you perceive what their management style is. And so I've worked with bosses on all different levels, men, women, black, white, it doesn't really matter. But once you understand the different management styles that are out there today, then you will find it so much easier, so much easier to be able to go to work and do what you do. So I'm just going to just talk about myself, because I think this would be a good way for people to kind of understand my point of view and why I say that it's not about you. Okay, so I have two types of bosses. I have a boss that is very, very laid back. He doesn't really particularly micromanage me. He lets me do what I need to do in my job every day. Now, does that mean he doesn't care? Absolutely not. He really does care. He has to still report to the higher ups. He still has to get the information out to his clients. Okay. He may be very reserved, and this is the type of boss that would necessarily not say anything to you and make it seem like that you are really doing a good job. But if they find out from their coworkers that you are not, you won't hear about it until it's time for your review, or maybe when you're in some type of trouble, then all of a sudden it will come up. So you definitely have to watch that, because just because a boss is laid back does not mean that he's not really paying attention to your work ethic. Okay, so a laid back boss can be a very micromanaging boss too, because they have their own meticulous way of handling things. And just because they're not paying you any attention doesn't mean that they're really not paying attention, if you know what I mean. Okay. The second boss that I have is somebody who's very meticulous. She is everywhere. She knows all the stuff. She talks over you when you talk. And sometimes when people do that, when they speak over you and they make it feel like that, they are trying to tell you more information than you already know, sometimes you can take that as that you are not knowledgeable, or that maybe you don't know enough, or maybe they make you feel stupid. Okay. It's not even about that. What it is that they are so engaged in trying to give you the information that they don't think about how it's coming across to you. They just want to get it out. They just want to just say whatever it is they want to say. How you deal with that is that you just kind of just button it up and let them get it all out and let them say whatever they're going to say. And sometimes the best recourse is not even to respond. Now, you can respond in other ways. You can just say, okay, or how do you want me to do it? What is your idea? And then you follow it up with your ideas. And that way you get a chance to express what you're trying to say. Most of the times, if you try to go up against someone who is like that, who just want to blurt out all the knowledge, sometimes you have to literally just sit back and wait for them to stop talking. You have to wait for them to stop talking so that you can actually express what you want. And if they try to talk over you, then what you have to do in that instance is that you still have to gently be a little bit forceful in your thing without raising your voice and without the attitude. So that's the hard part. So when they start talking over you and going all blah, 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 sometimes you have to just gently put in your little point and maybe use your hand gestures, but don't raise your voice. Don't get an attitude, because the moment you get an attitude, they're going to think that you got offended, and then they're going to get an attitude, and next thing you know, you're going to be bumping heads, right? And next thing you know, it's going to be an uncomfortable feeling every time you go and talk to this person, because you're going to feel like they're going to talk over you, you're going to talk over them, you're not going to be able to do it. So again, those two type of bosses. Now, here's the tricky part. When you have those two type of bosses working together and they have a really good working relationship, most of the time they already recognize that it's not about them. Okay, that's why it always seems like a favoritism. Okay, you hear that all the time, right? So when you see those two type of bosses, one that's very lax and one that's very forceful, the reason why they're able to work together because they understand the way they work. Okay, and to you on the outside, it may look like that they're just partnering up and in a clique and all this kind of stuff. You have to kind of get that out of your mind and just realize that this is the way they work together. This is the way they have learned to communicate on some level. And these are the ones that's going to give you your performance reviews. These are the ones that's going to give you bonuses. These are the ones that's going to either talk good or bad about you. So just dealing with what is considered a difficult boss in those scenarios is just you being patient and being yourself, not raising your voice, taking the attitude out of your speech, and just showing them better than you can tell them. You know what I'm saying? Show them your work instead of always having to go back and forth and tit for tat with words and things like that. I also want to touch on another boss that is really difficult. You have the ones that really, really micromanage everything you do. They got their hands in every little single thing that you do. A lot of times this could be frustrating because you want to show your ability to do your job. But then you have them, they started reaching into what you're doing and they're doing your job before you could do your job. And it makes it seem like you can't do your job because they're already there. They already made the phone calls. They already have the documents. They are ready to talk to whoever. A lot of times you have to play to the ego a little bit and just let them know that they're doing an awesome job. But then you also have to gently tell them, hey, I can do this for you and I can do something else. And then what happens is that they start to see how independent you are. And a lot of times, again, this is not about you. It's really all about their comfortability and how they're managing whatever it is that they're managing or delegating to an employee. So I just want to throw that out there for those three things. And I'm pretty sure that if anybody have any questions about how to deal with difficult boss, there was other things that people have told me about and I experienced myself. Bosses who are just talk really bad to you. Now, these are the worst bosses, okay? You have people who just talk down to you all the time, insult you. listen, I'm gonna tell you, like, I know for me, I would not work at a place if I had a boss that just constantly belittle me, make me feel bad, make me feel stupid, and blatantly do it. And then you're actually going into that job because you feel like that you can't get another job. But I'm here to tell you, you can get yourself out of that situation. There is no reason for you to stay in a job where there's a boss that is literally insulting your integrity, insulting your personality, just you as a person, just insulting. You definitely do not want to work in that type of environment. It is not healthy mentally, physically. All that stress, thinking about how you're going to deal with this person day in and day out, can really be detrimental on your health. So I would strongly suggest that you just go head on, get your resume together, get your professional references together, make sure you have your LinkedIn profile all done up, and get yourself another job. You can bide your time and be better at biding your time if you put your focus on getting out of the situation instead of trying to deal with the situation. Your dealing with the situation is getting out. Trust me when I tell you, I had bosses that literally told me, oh man, and this is when I was actually pregnant with my third son, Michael, and I had got a job and I was excited working there. And the first week she said to me, oh my gosh, I let go of a really good secretary and landed on a pregnant woman. That was really hurtful when she said that. I'm going to tell you, it was really hurtful. And everything I did was never right. And it was just horrible. It was just horrible, horrible, horrible. And the only thing I could do was get out of the situation. It's already hard enough that you got to get up every day, go in a job, do what you're told, try to wait for a paycheck. The last thing you need is somebody who's going to belittle you in the office. So just get your resume. Make sure you start focusing on the career that you want to change to, even if it's a lateral position. There's nothing wrong in getting a lateral position. I've done it many times where I needed to get out of a situation with a boss who was just dead set on making me miserable every single day just because they were miserable. And again, it was never about me. It's always about them every single time. And I ended up taking a lateral position, and that actually led to me getting promoted in different areas. Okay, so it could be a good thing. Taking the same salary, taking the same job to get away from a terrible boss. Do that for sure. You just have to. So I want to do that. Leroy, I see you up here still hanging. You're still hanging with me. And so I think for the most part, for this little segment, I'm keeping it quite short, and unless I have like a bunch of people here that's asking me questions or a bunch of questions. But I wanted to use this 15-20 minutes here on Facebook Live to just interact. I want to encourage everybody to don't forget about the career workshop that is going to be on Saturday. We have Deidre Welcome from Concerning Learning. We're also going to have Andrea Landry Brown. She is from We Are. We're going to have HR recruiters that's going to be there looking at your resume. You're also going to have myself that's going to show you how to get the job. And there's also going to be some other stuff too. There's going to be food there as well. And so I want to encourage everybody to do that. Also, Leroy and I, for the entrepreneurs who may be watching this video, we're definitely going to be on here talking about how do you start, grow, and how do you start your business? How do you grow? How do you do marketing? How do you do lead generation? How do you even maintain your business? And even if you're already in business, is there something missing in your checklist that you didn't do that you need the extra help on? This is just extra reinforcement for a small business owners. This is really just a webinar. It's a 3-part webinar. The first one tomorrow is going to focus on how do you start your business. So if you ever wanted to start a business, or you're thinking about trying to do something with your talent, at least come to this 1.5 hour webinar. Get the information, then come back on the 27th and find out how do you do zero to low cost marketing, because a lot of us don't have a lot of money to pay for marketing. So how do we do this with hardly any money? You need to know how to do this. How do you leverage social media? How do you use branding techniques to help you brand your business and to help you market and advertise? These are things we're going to be talking about on the 27th, okay? All right, and what about August the 10th? That's when we're going to talk about lead generation, customer service. How do you gain your customers? How do you go out there and find the target market that you need so bad for your business? And honestly, all of this stuff, and I'm always honest, right? All of this stuff together, the Career Corner and the webinars, is designed to help you raise awareness to your ability, your potential to do what you want to do, which is to either own a business or to get the career of your choice, working in a place that you are going to be happy. So it's not just about, I just want to be an entrepreneur or I just want to have a job. It is both, because there's going to be times where you're going to have to work for someone, and there's going to be times where you're going to feel like you're going to own your own business. And guess what? You can do both. So please come to both of those things. Also, I want to encourage you to please check me out every Wednesday. I'm going to try to make this a regular thing to come out on Wednesday and do a career corner. If you have any other questions regarding your personal situation, please email me those questions. I'll answer those questions, and you will be anonymous, so that way we don't give away people's personal situation. But I do appreciate the questions and that. So thank you for joining me on the Career Corner, and I will see you next week. Bye.